Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my video blog. In this video, I am going to be covering a very interesting topic, such as why, even in this seller's market, you would not want to sell your home by yourself without using a realtor to help you go through this transaction. And I'm going to break it down as to why you don't want to do that. So, stick around and then we'll get to it right now. Hello, thank you for joining me today. My name is Angela Olmos. If we're not familiar just yet, I am a full-time real estate agent in the Northeast Florida area, and I specialize in helping people just like you buying and selling and investing in real estate. And today I have a pretty interesting topic, and just bear with me because I'm trying to screen share and do all sorts of things at the same time. Let me just go ahead and make sure that this is working. Okie dokie. Let me just remove that. I just want to make sure that we get the audio from it. Bear with me as I'm testing all of this. It's a pretty cool system, but at the same time, I just have to get a little bit more familiar with it. So I appreciate you guys sticking with me. Can you guys hear that music in the background? Okay, good. I've been working on getting the show to be more animated, and for that, when I go in and I introduce myself and I tell you guys what I do and the reason why I'm creating these videos, I want to have a little bit of a warm up in the back. So that's what that was all about. Okay, so let's get to it. One of the reasons, there's total of 5 reasons that my blog breaks down as to why you would not want to sell your home by yourself, even in this seller's market. And I'm going to be sharing that with you. So let me just go ahead and bring that up to the stream. Can you guys see my blog? Okay, cool. And another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to be sure to post the link so that way you guys can go in there directly and read more about it. But I wanted to just come out and, just kind of, just unpack the information in a way that would be super easy for you to understand. And also, create the relationship, which is so important when buying and selling real estate. So, okay, so here we go. The reasons why you don't want to tackle selling your home on your own. There are several, but I'm going to be covering some of the most important ones. Can you guys see that? Let me just go ahead and make this a little bit bigger, maybe. Okay, there you go. Okay, so first impressions are everything. I mean, like everything in real estate. You cannot have a second chance of making a good first impression, which is one of the reasons why we spend so much time preparing the home for going on the market. So preparing your home for sale definitely takes a certain level of expertise. And you might be considering, well, I can keep my house neat and tidy, and that's all great. However, when it comes to actually making a transaction, actually selling a home, you have to kind of take off the personal side and the connection that you've built with that home, which is very hard to do because it is your home, right? Unless it's an investment property that you're just kind of, seeing this from a distance. But most of the sellers that I work with are selling their primary residence, and it's very hard for them to detach themselves from the personal, connection that they have with those homes. So it's really important to detach yourself so that you can take a very, just a very clear look as to what it is that buyers would be looking for, such as maybe removing your personal items, your personal pictures from your family trips. Those are not things that are going to inspire buyers to buy your home, but they could get in the way of the transaction going smoothly and for you to get the most amount of money in the quickest amount of time, which is ultimately what you want, right? How much, also you would want to know how much landscaping should you invest in? Is that even necessary? Okay. And then what colors are most appealing to buyers? Those are some of the things that us agents have a really good handle on what's happening in the market because we see it every day. I came across an interesting stat yesterday, and it said that the typical home seller only goes through selling their homes 3 times in their lifetime. Okay. So unless you're a real estate investor or you just move a whole lot, most normal people sell an average of about 3 homes in their lifetime, which is very different how homes were sold just about 5 years ago to how they're sold right now. So that's one of the other reasons why you want to stay with the guidance of a realtor. But that's sidetracked. Well, let me get sidetracked. Okay, number 2, agents have the tools to maximize the number of views the home gets. And here's the thing, guys. Right now, we're so heavily relying on technology to do pretty much everything, right? In this market, we are right now connecting online. A lot of shopping is being done online. A lot of the learning, the social aspect of how we interact is very much online. And it's truly important to know exactly how to get the majority of views, the most views that you can get to the home online, because that's truly where people are starting to search. So if the home doesn't look good online, okay, or if you're not presenting it to the majority of people that it could possibly be presented to, you might be missing out on some certain opportunities. And these are some of the things, the expertise that realtors, we're trained to have. How do we get the most exposure on the home? How do we maximize social media? How do we make sure that we get the most eyeballs on the home? And we study this. I study this every day. So you want to leverage all of that knowledge to make sure that your transaction, goes smoothly, and it's comfortable for you. Now, number three, an agent won't miss any of the fine print. Okay, this is another thing that most people don't think about. There are a lot of regulatory changes that have happened in the real estate industry, and a lot of our contracts get updated, yearly, sometimes even monthly. When these things happen, we typically are called into many trainings to know exactly how to deal with those forms and how to, properly fill them out and all of that. So you want to make sure that that you have an agent by your side that's going to help you walk through all of those forms. The last thing that you want is for a form to not be filled out and you really needed that, or be filled out incorrectly, or just, you could easily get lost in the whole legal paperwork, which is so important when selling a home. Now, number four, expert advisors know the market and how to price your home. Okay, this is huge, guys. The pricing has to be absolutely perfect when you put that home on the market. And here's the reason why. A lot of people are tempted to overprice their home, even in this market, because they know how much homes have appreciated here recently within the last couple of years. But you want to also be cautious of the fact that if you overprice your home, there is going to have to be a appraisal that the buyer buying your home is going to have to do to get the mortgage that he needs to be able to pay you for that house. So if you overprice your home too high, you might have an appraisal gap, and not every buyer is going to be ready or have the funds necessary to be able to meet the difference. So these are some of the things that us realtors are trained to know. If you're getting an offer that's way too high, are they waiving the appraisal? If you have some concerns as to if that's going to be a gap, those are some of the things that trained professionals will help you guide you through it. If not, it could really be a headache to try to deal with all of that. And then your agent is an expert negotiator. Think about this. We do this for a living. I've been selling real estate for about 16 years, and this is all I've done for a living for the past 16 years. So I absolutely have been trained to negotiate and help get my buyers and sellers the best possible terms with their transactions, obviously fairly. And with that in mind, I have to negotiate with the buyers agents, the inspection companies, the appraisals. There's just so many people that you have to connect with, that if you don't have those negotiation skills, or even know who you need to negotiate or what to negotiate at what point within the transaction, it could really be a headache and might ultimately end up compromising the sale of your home. So we don't want to do that, right? So the bottom line here is selling your home takes time, effort, and expertise. Don't go at it alone. Let's connect to make sure that we have an expert by your side to help you get through it. That's what I have prepared for you guys. And then I have something else. Let me just see. I'm going to stop this one, and then I am going to share. Give me just a second. Share my screen. I'm going to share this window. I have another Chrome tab right here. I found this interesting, and I wanted to bring you guys this. This is actually from the National Association of Realtors, okay? And if, this is actually what, the golden standard for real estate, where, when you have a real estate license, it is expected that you're part of the National Association of Realtors, which I am a part of. And I thought it was interesting that they came out with these for sale by owner statistics, which kind of, it puts even more weight into what I was just explaining to you guys, why you don't want to sell your home by yourself. These are just some of the most recent statistics that we had from the previous year. And then for sale by owners, which are basically the sellers that do not use an agent, accounted for only 8% of the sales. Okay, and the typical for sale by owner home sold for $217,900 for a price, compared to $295,000 for an agent assisted home sales. Okay, that's huge. That's a huge price difference. I can see that if someone decided to sell the home on their own and they only got, let's just make it a round even number, $218,000 for their home, and I'm being generous with the extra 100, but let's say they got $218,000. Well, how would they feel if they know they could have gotten $295,000 with the assist of a realtor? So those are some of the things that you want to think about. And I know a lot of people do this because they think that they want to save the real estate commission. But here's the thing, what you are saving on the real estate commission might actually be costing you on the net, the total proceeds, the total profit that you're going to receive once that close is all settled. So do you want to compromise hundreds of thousands of dollars for a real estate fee, which will actually be just a fraction of what you could gain from the sale of your home? It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And then also, these are some, and this is interesting, the most difficult tasks for sale by owners. The National Association of Realtors found that preparing their home was actually 12% of the hassle. Not everyone has those expertise to prepare their home for sale. Understanding and preparing the paperwork, that's what I was just mentioning. You know, there's so many disclosures and so many contracts and so many addendums that have to be included, you know, that if you don't know, you could be missing out on something very important. And then getting the right price for their home. That's another thing that, you know, is hard for them to do. And I think a lot of it is because they don't have the resources. You know, you might think that by going and doing an online search, you might be able to come up with a price, but those search engines are not always the most reliable. They don't necessarily take under consideration the condition of your home. They're just basically looking at an algorithm for all the recent sales in the zip code or a certain area, but they don't really, you know, personalize that pricing for you. So you want to make sure that you're not leaving any money on the table by making sure that you price your home correctly. And then selling with this right planned time frame, you know, it ultimately took them longer to sell on their own. So those are some of the things that I wanted to share with you guys today. Let me just go ahead and remove that. Okay. So that's what I've got. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have been thinking of buying, selling, or investing in real estate, I look forward to being your trusted source. You know, it's just one of those things that you don't want to go about it alone. You know, of course, yes, we can all do certain things like, let me see, what's one thing that I would not want to do alone, like change my car oil. Heck no. I know that I could do it, like if I really set my mind to it, but no, I don't want to do that. It's going to take an enormous amount of time. And and this is a very, very probably bad comparison, because selling your home is actually even much more important than changing the oil in your car, right? That's where the majority of the profit from the sale is going to be handled. So why go about it alone? Why try to figure it out as you're going through it and not just go ahead and hire a professional to help you get through it? So with that in mind, I hope that you guys, you know, just give me the opportunity to help you. And until next time, I'll talk to you soon. And remember to be kind to one another. And I will catch you on the next video. Take care.